Over in South Carolina, he was just a few votes short of securing his party's congressional nomination back in 2024. Deford said he tried to talk himself out of running again this year, but the military veteran and lawyer said the draw and the need for change in the state was just too great. So now he's back and at or near the top of the early polls for the Democratic nomination in District 1. Deford says that's in part due to the number of new voters in the Lowcountry.
Ran last cycle. I saw a lot of the same people coming out to political events. I see so many different people now. People that they come up to me and they say, Mac, this is my first political event. I've never been political. I've never paid attention to politics. But what's going on right now makes it almost impossible to not pay attention. 13% of registered voters in this district have registered since the 2024 election. So that's largely due to migration. I mean, you know, we've got some of the fastest growing county, a portion of it in this district with Jasper County. You know, Beaufort's a growing region. Berkeley County up in the northern part of the district, also a very fast growing part. So we've definitely seen that change in sentiment. We did a poll in early December. Now, a lot has happened since early December. But, you know, that poll showed the generic ballot, the Democrats down by 5 points. But then on a head-to-head with me against Mark Smith, who I would say is one of the front runners, if not the front runner, we're at a dead heat tie. So I think that this is an interesting district, and it's fairly independently minded. I mean, we've had almost 6 years with Nancy Mace. And I think that the concern is she hasn't been addressing the issues that have an impact on the quality of life in our communities, in our state, and in our country. You know, for example, people are really concerned about AI and the lack of regulation. We don't have a national framework for AI regulation. She sits on a subcommittee. In fact, she chairs a subcommittee where she would be primed to introduce legislation and work on that issue. The problem is that she's more concerned about UFOs and aliens and who's using what bathroom. We want our AI companies to be competitive. We don't want China to overtake us in this sector. But when you have AI that's touching virtually every aspect of society, from healthcare to communications to energy, there has to be some sort of regulatory framework. Otherwise, it puts all of those industries at risk. Data centers shouldn't be getting all the incentives because we are going to be paying for the increase in energy demands that are going to come with that data center, as well as the negative impacts and harmful impacts to our environment. Doesn't matter if you're a ruby red Republican or you're a blue Democrat, we don't want offshore drilling here. And so, you know, those people running, you know, on the other side of the aisle, they may say they're against it, but at the end of the day, what we have seen, you know, in large part with the Republicans in Washington is they're unwilling to really break from Donald Trump on any issues. And if Donald Trump says he wants to draw off the coast of South Carolina, a Republican in Congress is going to allow it to happen. We have some structural changes that need to be made in Washington. We have to, you know, crack down on dark money organizations in politics. I mean, the fact that you can have outside money groups that know nothing about South Carolina shoot in a candidate from out of state and build them up and literally buy a candidate, buy a race, that totally dilutes the concept and the premise of one person, one vote. So we have to take on campaign finance reform in this country. That strengthens democracy. That's not a partisan issue. That's going to help people regardless of, you know, what political stripes you wear. So banning congressional stock trading. You know, we shouldn't have members of Congress who go up to Washington and then they're not accountable to us. They're accountable to their stock portfolios and those people that are bankrolling their campaigns.
Now, just a friendly reminder, if you're planning to vote in Georgia, early voting runs through May 15th, primary election day on May 19th. In South Carolina, early voting opens May 26th through June 5th, primary election day set for June 9th. You can find everything you need to make your vote count anytime on our website. Just visit wsav.com/electionhq for more on the candidates, polling places, and much more.